News 12 is brought to you by Kenneth Nugent. From the station that's on your side, this is News 12 NBC 26 this morning.
Good morning, 6 o'clock on your Sunday, April 3rd. We're taking a live look at downtown Augusta, and today it's a busy week. We're kicking off with the drive, chip, and putt, then the Masters. I mean, it is a big week, lots to look forward to, lots of people coming into town. So first of all, thank you all so much for joining us. But Chris, we need to, big week, lot to expect. What do we have weather-wise?
Well, we do have a whole week of events going on, so there are going to be weather changes throughout those 7 days, and we'll talk all about it in detail. We'll take care of your Sunday right now, and we are off to a cool start. We're in the low to mid-40s. There'll even be a few 30s out there before the morning is over, and that's going to put us around 52 degrees at 9 o'clock in the morning. By 10, not too bad, 59, but definitely a cool start. The normal low about 48 degrees, and we are well below that this morning. And there's a live look at Riverwatch Parkway right here in front of the Wrdw studio, and not a whole lot going on other than a lot of very chilly weather out there. Currently 41 degrees. We do have calm winds and clear skies, a perfect recipe for a very chilly morning. It won't be cool long. We'll have lots of sunshine throughout the day today. We'll be up to about 59 degrees by 10 o'clock. Look at those afternoon temperatures. The average high today is 78, and this is going to be a typical April 3rd day. I think that'll be about what the high temperature is by about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Dopplermax radar is dry out there. We do have clear skies, very dry air in place, so the humidity is going to be very, very low. As we go hour by hour throughout the day today, we are starting off in the 40s, winds from the northwest, and then as we head overnight tonight, another cool night tonight, and then tomorrow we're going into the upper 70s, maybe even 80 degrees in a few spots. So a very nice start for the practice rounds out there at Augusta National. And then we do have some storms coming in starting on Tuesday. We'll talk more in detail about that in just a bit, but here are your weather headlines. Chilly start today, but that nice warm up. Could be some very heavy rain moving in on Tuesday, and more cool weather is on the way toward next weekend. We'll talk more about that in just a few minutes.
All right, Chris, thank you. 6:02 now. A reminder, the city of Augusta says there are lane closures underway for Masters Week. Starting at 7 a.m. every morning, the northbound Washington Road exit off of I-20 will be closed to traffic. So if you're heading down I-20 on the eastbound side, you'll have to take exit 200 at Riverwatch Parkway right outside our station to get to Washington Road. Then you'll take Alexander Drive and Berkman's Road all the way to the Augusta National Golf Club. The hustle and bustle of Masters Week is here. This is the view from the City of Augusta's Traffic Center. Engineers are watching cameras around the clock to handle all of the crowds and cars and keep it all moving in the right direction. News 12 Will Rio talked to the city's traffic engineers. They say the number one thing drivers should know is not to use your GPS. I know it sounds crazy, but follow the signs and traffic codes. They've been getting plans together for the last 3 weeks. They say there's more work going into this year's tournament week than in previous years. Will?
Nothing screams tournament week in Augusta quite like heavy traffic, orange barrels, and traffic signs posted across the city.
It's been a long process.
It's a plan that doesn't magically happen overnight.
We've been doing preparations for the last 3 weeks.
John Usry and his team with Augusta Traffic Engineering use this room called the Traffic Center.
We're just basically watching all the traffic as it comes to and from the tournament.
They use 40 traffic cameras around Augusta National Golf Course. He and a couple other folks will closely monitor their massive screens.
Well, it's been a little more extensive than it has been the last couple of years during the COVID years, but it's going to be very similar to what we saw in 2019 prior to COVID.
On any other week, Washington Road sees 50,000 cars in 24 hours. During tournament week, it can be more than 80,000. So he wanted to share some advice to drivers.
Be patient, have a little grace, be kind, and then also don't use your GPS.
Following the traffic signs and cones is the best practice. Your GPS will probably only make things more frustrating for you.
It's going to tell you to do something that I won't allow you to do, and you're going to get stuck somewhere you don't want to be.
Will, thank you. Being somewhere you don't want to be is never a good thing, of course. Traffic engineers say the best thing you can do is download all of the routes that you need to take, study them, and make sure you understand where you're going before hitting the road. It's 6:05 now, and it's no secret golf does a lot for our community. Money flows back to local nonprofits in a lot of ways. Pro golfer Kevin Kistner and his wife Brittany created their own foundation to help all kinds of causes. And Brittany is our studio guest this morning, one-on-one with Brittany.
Wish it could be a little bit more collaborative with the community versus just a decision that's made that's not consistent with, what each one of us thought we were buying into.
And we reached out to the developer to ask why they've withdrawn their application. We're still waiting to hear back. 6:11 now, a Richmond County deputy arrested for sexual assault. The sheriff's office says 22-year-old Darius Flew Ellen engaged in sexual activity with a female inmate while on duty at the Webster Detention Center. He faces 1 count of sexual assault and 1 count of violation of oath by public officer. Both felonies. Flew Ellen is now in custody at the detention center. He's been on the force since September. The Columbia County Sheriff's Office is asking for your help finding this man suspected of hitting a kid riding a bike and driving away. They believe George Troll Jr. is connected to a hit-and-run Sunday evening. That's when a pickup truck hit a juvenile riding a bike at Braddock Street and Maywood Drive in Martinez. If you have any information about this incident, you're asked to call the number on your screen. Also in Columbia County, the Sheriff's Office says a crew of about 8 thieves ransacked cars at the Wrights Farm neighborhood in Grovetown. You can see the 3 cars pull next to a driveway on a neighbor's doorbell camera. One of the suspects opens both cars and rummages through them before getting back into one of the getaway cars. Deputies say 4 cars were hit in the operation, but they have reason to believe the thieves tried to steal from many more homes.
It's scary. Unsettling.
This is actually very concerning because this is the second time since we moved here in January that I know of that this has happened.
The Sheriff's Office says they're reviewing evidence to catch the thieves, and they say, as a reminder, always remember to lock your car doors, and if you have any handguns, get a gun safe made for your car. They say when those get in the wrong hands, they can be used for crimes and make it harder to catch the criminal. 6:13 now, a record number of golfers turning up to a tournament in Aiken today. We'll take you to the action just after the break.
And you get the green light for the car wash forecast today. It will be a warm day after a nice cool morning in the 40s. We'll have a look at your 7-day forecast, which does have storms and some cooler weather when we come back.
Life isn't a
Good job, Ed. Good job, Ed. Good job. Good job.
Thanks, Will. Organizers say they've raised $28,000 this year. So much fun and for a great cause. We're going to go and take a live look now outside at the gateway to Grovetown. And, traffic's pretty steady this morning. You can just barely see the sun starting to creep out. Chilly start to your Sunday morning, but big day today. We have the drive, chip, and putt. And obviously, big week ahead of us. So I'm going to throw things over to First Alert meteorologist Chris Dill. And Chris, just run with it.
Yeah, a little bit of weather deja vu out there for you this morning because yesterday, a very chilly morning. We had a very warm afternoon. Today, about the same. It's almost as chilly, and it's going to be even warmer for the afternoon. A lot of sunshine in the forecast today. Tuesday is the big day we're keeping an eye on. We do have some heavy rain and the likelihood of some thunderstorms in the forecast Tuesday, and maybe even some rain on Wednesday and Thursday as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on those few days. And then behind that, we have some very cool weather headed in here, I think, for next weekend. For your fairway forecast on your Sunday, we'll have a northwest wind out there at 8 to 13, so maybe a little bit breezy toward the afternoon. 8 o'clock temperatures around 43. We'll be into the upper 60s by noon today and middle to upper 70s for the afternoon. Wrdw I-20 camera this morning showing lots of clear skies out there this morning. Those 2 cars on I-20 were probably the same ones we just saw on the Grovetown camera. Who knows? But 41 degrees, very chilly out there this morning. Plenty of dew, but nothing in the way of frost. Not quite that cold out there this morning. In fact, Augusta Regional Airport, the coolest area in town this morning, 42 in Thompson, so not far behind there, and a chilly morning in Edgefield over in Aiken where your temperature is 44 degrees. Here's a look at our computer model as we move through the next few days. We'll start off tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. We'll be keeping an eye on two different storm systems. This one will pass through and give us the likelihood of some very heavy rain, especially Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday night. This is noon on Tuesday. Showers in the forecast early in the day, but keep your eye on the yellows and the orange there. That heads in later in the day. And then by noon on Wednesday, we may get off to a dry start on Wednesday, but then System 2 starts to approach, and that's going to bring some rain later in the day on Wednesday that could last into the first part of Thursday. And then behind this, we have some very unseasonably cool air coming in for Friday into the weekend. So here is your 7-day forecast. A very nice day out there today. The high temperature 77, plenty of sunshine, really tumbling those temperatures tonight all the way down to about 40 degrees, but then we nearly double that for the afternoon at 79. 80% chance of rain and thunderstorms Tuesday, about a 30% chance of rain again late Wednesday into Thursday. And look at next weekend, we're going to have those highs in the low to mid 70s. The average is the upper 70s. Oh, wow! Wow!
It's been dubbed the slap heard around the world. I'm sure you heard it. Actor Will Smith slapping comedian Chris Rock at last weekend's Oscars. Smith stormed the stage after a joke about his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, who suffers from hair loss from alopecia. The incident on the national stage now has a local councilwoman speaking up about her own experience with the condition. Here's our Claire Allen with how she's using her platform to inspire others.
For women, our hair is our crown.
For so many, it's a symbol of their womanhood. But women with alopecia, it can mean so much more.
Oh, it's just hair. It was just a hair joke. But then for me was the alopecia piece of it.
Grovetown Councilwoman Wrdw Smith is opening up about her journey with alopecia on her recent podcast. She's discussing the impact Chris Rock's infamous joke has on awareness.
You know, it was a trigger for me.
The councilwoman also interviewed a woman who suffers from the same form of alopecia that Jada Pinkett Smith has.
I was hoping that we could find and start a dialogue and get people to understand that to some people it was more than just a joke.
She wanted to shift the negative energy to focus on something that is real and affects millions of women every day.
We want to uplift people, inspire people, and we have to use the platforms that we have wisely.
Smith's main goal was to bring awareness to the condition and promote self-love along with confidence for all women on this journey.
As a culture, as a society, we have a responsibility to lift one another up.
In Augusta, Claire Allen, on your side.
Thanks, Claire. And this disorder affects men and women alike. Right now, in the U.S., about 2.5 million people have alopecia. If you want to listen to the Councilwoman Smith's podcast, we have the link listed right here across your screen. We'll also attach it to the story posted on our website, wrdw.com, and our WRDW app.
Plenty of pollen to go around today and tomorrow, but that rain on the way Tuesday will momentarily knock down those pollen levels. We do have the cooler weather on the way. We'll take another look at your 7-day forecast when we come back.
There it is, 12 Law Call, every Sunday night at 11:30.
Welcome back. Time now is 6:25. Here's our fishing forecast for your Sunday. Looking pretty good up there at Lake Thurmond. High temperature day will be about 77 degrees. It will be kind of cool out there, but a nice day again on Monday. We've got a shaded red there on Tuesday because we do have rain and thunderstorms. Not a very good day to be at the lake on Tuesday, and then maybe a few showers out there on Wednesday as well, but still very nice with those high temperatures Wednesday into the 80s. We won't make it into the 80s today, but we'll come close. We'll have high temperatures right around 77 degrees. That'll happen around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and then stay pretty mild into the evening. We'll still be in the 70s, I think, until about 7 o'clock tonight. WRDW I-20 camera once again showing a few folks headed down I-20. A pretty quiet morning out there, and another very chilly morning. We're not in the 30s, but we are close, and we could end up there before the sun comes up here in a little bit. Current temperature at 41. Around the area, mostly middle and upper 40s. Right now, 44 in Aiken, 46 in Louisville, and 44 degrees this morning in Thompson. As far as our radar, we are dry. We're going to stay dry, like I said, the rest of today and tomorrow. And then Tuesday will be our next chance of rain. As far as winds today, those are going to be mainly coming in from the northwest today. There's the clouds coming in Monday, and those showers coming in on Tuesday night. Our forecast today, lots of sunshine. Your high temperature in Louisville, about 76. We're up to 76 in Barnwell and about 75 in Evans. Overnight tonight, another chilly night. We could have a few pockets of 30s out there in a few spots. I think most of us are about 40 degrees. There's that storm system we're keeping an eye on for Tuesday. I'll have more on that coming up in just a few minutes.
I'm Attorney Jamie right here on News 12.
Thanks, Nick. Good luck to everybody competing today. And as a reminder, if you'll be out at Augusta National today for Drive, Chip, and Putt, you cannot bring anything on this list to the course. Make sure you don't have your cell phone, no backpacks, large bags, or purses. No cameras, flags, or signs, no food or drinks, no strollers, no chairs with arms. It has to be a golf chair. And if you have a smartwatch, you can wear it, but you can't use it to make calls or to text. With the tournament comes traffic, and this year the course is at full capacity for patrons. Traffic engineers say this year there's going to be a few couple of major changes. In the morning, the biggest change we're going to see is the I-20 ramp coming from Atlanta onto Washington Road. It's going to be closed. That traffic will have to go to Riverwatch Parkway. That's exit 200. In the afternoon, Berkman's Road will turn into a one-way street going away from the course. A lot of tournament week events are back this year too. After 2 years, the mayor's master reception is tomorrow from 5 to 9 at the Augusta Common. The free event is for everyone, and there will be music, free food, and more. Wrdw kicks off Tuesday afternoon. Gates will open at 4 at the Evans Town Center Park. Headliner Darius Rucker will be joined by Lady A's Charles Kelly. On Wednesday and Friday, Party on the Green is back with a new name, location, and an extra day. This year, the free event will be in South Augusta at the address on your screen, and it starts at 5. And Thursday, downtown Waynesboro will bring back its Masters Night Out event that also kicks off at 5. A heads up in Columbia County, some roads will be closed in Evans during Wrdw next week. Antebellum Way is closed to all traffic next Tuesday. Evans Town Center Boulevard will be closed from Ronald Reagan Drive to Antebellum Way. That's from 3 until midnight. It's 6:38 now, and new developments after a string of car break-ins in Columbia County, and in a neighborhood in Columbia County. This video is from a doorbell from a neighbor in the Brights Farm neighborhood just outside of Grovetown. It shows several suspects driving up to homes and searching their cars early Monday morning. Deputies tell us at least 4 cars were broken into and small items were stolen. Now we're learning about a stolen car the same night just 7 minutes down the road. News 12 Celeste Springer is at Grovetown Police Department, where that car is getting back into officers' custody.
Guys, officers just got back today recovering the stolen car from North Carolina, and take a look at this damage. They and the owner say this is something brand new, but they're lucky to have their car back. It's a mystery what carjackers hit while driving the stolen car. The Grovetown Department of Public Safety says they broke into cars in the Joyner Crossing, Brights Farm, and an area of Richmond County, all in the same night. They say this likely was not the thieves' first rodeo.
We were able to determine they were only in the city for 18 minutes.
The owner of this car did not want to go on camera, but police say the string of crimes Monday are likely organized.
All indications now are this was a ring, if you will, that came down out of North Carolina. And that's not, sad to say, but that's not uncommon.
But a piece of good news for car owners. These cases were not a smash and grab, meaning something as easy as locking your doors can help protect you.
These that we are seeing are not smash and grab. These are folks that are pulling on door handles because they know that most folks are not securing their vehicles.
Ultimately, the Grovetown Department of Public Safety was able to track the stolen car through their GPS and other stolen credit cards. They hope this can serve as a warning to other car owners.
They work hard for what they have, and it's just a shame that this happens.
No word yet on who the suspects are in this case, but of course, when we find out, we'll be keeping all of you at home updated. In Grovetown, Celeste Springer on your side.
Thanks, Celeste. 3 numbers could save lives. Starting in July, when you dial 988, it will send you to the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. In Georgia, those calls will go to the Georgia Crisis and Access Line. Last year, they got 275,000 calls.
What we saw was an increase in reports of anxiety and depression, thoughts of self-harm, things that are really concerning. But an individual in crisis should have the easiest way to access help.
That was the commissioner of Georgia's Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities. She says federal and state dollars are at work to boost mental health services in the state. It's 6:41 now. The Georgia Senate just passed a constitutional carry bill. That's the gun bill that would eliminate the need for a permit to conceal and carry a gun. The bill just passed in the Senate in a 34-22 vote and now heads to Governor Brian Kemp's desk, who said he looks forward to signing it. Wheels Up is partnering with Golden Harvest Food Bank to provide meals to our area. They're making a $100,000 donation to the food bank as part of their Meals Up initiative. Almost 20 people from Wheels Up joined Golden Harvest Friday for a day of service. Together, the two groups served food at Master's Table Soup Kitchen and held a mobile distribution in Aiken.
It's incredible. I mean, it's an incredible feeling. I'll tell you, when we did this last year, it was one of the most rewarding and fulfilling things that I've ever been a part of.
It's just a great way to serve together right before that tournament and just to partner up and serve our neighbors.
Golden Harvest says this donation will help them provide more than 33,000 meals. 6:42, all the experience, but none of the danger. How a new piece of technology is helping local high schoolers take flight just ahead.
Pollen meter is pegged out again today. There is some rain in the forecast for Tuesday that could knock it down just a little bit. We'll have details on that and your 7-day forecast when we come back.
Change 99999. It's 6:45 on your Sunday. The sky is the limit for North Augusta high schoolers. This year, the school started offering an aviation course. The goal is to give students the chance to explore different jobs in the field. But check this out. You're taking a look at the newest addition to their classroom. Our Will Volk tried it out, and he shows us how it'll help students before they even get in a plane.
In that picture, that plane's going up 1,000 feet a minute.
Travis Spears students are learning to fly, and now they can, in the virtual sky.
It was really a community effort to really help out the students.
The community raised more than $5,000 to get this.
Turn the key.
Students have a new flight simulator to train on. Spears says it's the real deal.
2-1, turn left until that 2-1 is over there. All brand new. It's pretty state-of-the-art. I've been flying for 20 years, and when I got in it, it's pretty realistic. A little bit more.
Now his students are getting to see that firsthand.
God, what if I were about to you landed into the neighborhood? No.
Uh-oh. So did I.
We got problems now.
The erratic flying put my passengers in serious danger.
Well,
we landed hard.
you broke the engine.
It just goes to show, it takes practice.
Knows more and more.
And Spears is excited. Now his students can get some.
It'll give them a lot of real-world experience without having to put them in a real plane.
And while the plane might not be real, for these students, the lessons are.
Push forward a little bit.
In North Augusta, Will Volk, on your side.
Thanks, Will. Spears says the goal is to get students on the simulation every day. And let me just say, flying is one of my worst fears, so I do not want to get in a plane with any of them. And no offense to you, Will, either. I mean, hard landing, I will pass on that.
Fear of flying is very understandable. You are literally 6 or 7 miles in the sky and traveling 600 miles an hour. That's something to respect, I would say. So,
Right, but big day today, big week ahead. Obviously, when there's a lot of events, the number one question is weather. Thanks, Chris. The time now is 6:49. The sun's about to come up. And speaking of sunrise, new legislation would make year-round daylight saving time permanent, which means many of us would be heading to school and work in the dark and then seeing more daylight later. But sleep experts say it's actually bad for our overall health and safety. Laura Podesta has more on what doctors recommend is a better option.
Many of us have strong opinions on making the adjustment when the clocks fall back or spring forward.
People just don't want darkness when they go to come back from work. It just doesn't make sense.
I like that it's not going to be dark anymore because I can go out. I feel like I won't be as tired.
Losing an hour and a half in some parts of the country because of daylight.
A bill making daylight saving time permanent is gaining steam with lawmakers. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine agrees with eliminating seasonal time changes, but instead recommends year-round permanent standard time, which gives us more light in the morning and less at night, aligning more with our body's internal clock.
If we go on to permanent daylight saving time, then in the winter months, the sun will not be rising until well later than it currently is. So in some places, well after 8 a.m. That's going to make it very difficult for people to wake up and to function.
The U.S. tried permanent daylight saving time before. Congress passed a law in the early 1970s implementing it for 2 years. But Americans didn't like it, and it was repealed. Data shows there are significant health and safety risks when we spring forward an hour in March, including more vehicle crashes, mood disorders, and increased risk of heart attacks and strokes. Dr. Lisa Meltzer is with National Jewish Health.
With our cardiac rhythms and our health, those are certainly impacted when our rhythms get off and when we're not getting enough sleep.
Dr. Meltzer warns that longer days and lighter afternoons might be enticing, but must be weighed against the negative impacts of getting up in the dark. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
Thanks, Laura. If the House passes the Sunshine Protection Act bill, President Biden would sign it, and it would take effect next year.